Welcome back, friends. And if this is your first time coming, my name is Jasmine and I watch a shit ton of TV. And one of the shows that I love to watch is Big Brother. Last week, we had my girl Sunny on. And this week, I was like, I have to talk to one of my favorite TikTok creators. She's so funny. I love her recaps on everything, literally from The Real Housewives to Dr. Heavenly's new political run. I love all of her content, and she is a Big Brother fan. I want you guys to welcome Briefed by Elle. Elle, I'm so excited to have you today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. Anytime I get to talk Big Brother is a great time.
Yes. Yeah. Well, listen, I already know we're going to have a lot of fun. I want to just jump into it. Today, we're going to be talking about episodes 6 through 9 of Big Brother, but we're skipping episode 8 because that was BB Unlocked with Taylor and Derek, and I just couldn't really bring myself to watch that.
Boo.
I'm glad I'm not the only one, right? It's no shade to them, but I'm just like, I don't want to see like an ESPN-esque take
No,
of Big Brother from Derek and Taylor. It's just not something that I asked for. It doesn't seem like anybody in the audience asked for it, but they got it
no.
nonetheless.
Big Brother is the land of doing a bunch of crap that nobody asked for.
Yeah.
We be like,
Exactly. So we're talking about episode 6. I want to just jump right into it because we go into episode 6. This is Jimmy's HOH. We
mhm.
open the episode right after he has nominated Keanu, Adrian, and Kelly for the block, not knowing about Keanu's power and somewhat knowing that Kelly had a power, just not what the power was.
Power
How do
was.
what did you think of his nominations? Do you think they were we'll call them a bitch ass moves?
They was definitely giving bitch assness through and through. But that's Jimmy, right? I think that Jimmy could be such a more likable house guest if he stood on his bitchiness.
Mhm.
Like Jimmy wants to be bitchy and catty and cunty, but then not take accountability for it. So you'll
Yeah.
say the thing. So this whole reason that Keanu even ended up on the block, because the type of player that Jimmy is, I think he would have worked with Keanu. I, I personally think that Keanu a little too dark for Jimmy's liking. I think if Keanu was a different color, they wouldn't have had no beef. That's just a
Oh my
personal thing.
gosh, really?
I through and through. The little microaggressions that come in it is what's there. It always gives him trying to knock Keanu down a peg and not, oh, you're a competitor and I'm scared of you.
But
So
I think I want to pause there though, because I think that's an interesting thing to bring up. Because I thought he was doing, I do think there is an element of him trying to knock Keanu down a peg, but I
mhm.
looked at it as just because of like the way Keanu presents physically in terms of him being like more of a jock and like big and athletic. I didn't think it had anything to do with skin color because Jimmy's really close with Mickey.
So Jimmy and Mickey are really close, but I think his dynamic and him knowing Jimmy has a better chance, it feels like from his point of view, working with the girls. It doesn't do him anything to have beef with Mickey, somebody who has relationships with Morgan and Rachel and all of these people. Jimmy recognizes that. But when we look at the powerhouse that was Zach, Jimmy didn't have these issues with Zach.
Hmm.
He has them with Keanu, and they both were physical threats. They're both physical threats and they're both extremely intelligent. Microaggressions to the side. Jimmy's issue is that if he would have just said to Keanu, yeah, no, I was trying to get you out. I did put him up. I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah. He doesn't own it. He's too busy. Like for me with Jimmy, and I just talked about this with Sunny last week. Like I thought I was going to really like Jimmy, and I feel like Jimmy had all of the makings of being a really good house guest because
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate people who are a little bit cringe. He obviously is like very intertwined with pop culture. He quotes Drag Race a lot, which I'm so surprised that they let him do. And so
Right.
he just felt like somebody that I know in real life, and I was like, I'm gonna like him. But to your point, he doesn't stand in his bitchiness. It's like if you're gonna try to be queen mother of the house, bitch, be queen mother.
Thank you. It gives Giselle. It gives self-producing real
Yeah.
bad. And that
Hmm.
self-producing is never going to go right. Like everybody is coming on these reality shows giving their best.
Yeah.
I'm Frankie Grande. And it's boom.
Which
Just be
who I
you.
love. I love Frankie Grande. Like he was one of my favorites from BB16.
For him though,
Yeah,
right? I don't need a reenactment. I love Nene Leakes for Nene Leakes. You come on the show and you be whoever you're going to be.
exactly.
That's the disconnect with Jimmy. And so because he wants to be Queen Mother, we had his 5 nominations, which was a shit show.
It
They're
was
playing
such a
so
shit
much
show.
game, but they are being such bitches when it comes to the nominations.
Yeah, that's the thing that's killing me about it. And like you could tell, like that's also just keeping it on Jimmy just for a hot second, right? Because I feel like I'm seeing so much talk about him and like people in the fandom, everybody seems to think that he's doing way too much. And
Way
the
too
thing that
much.
took the cake in this episode, in episode 6 for me, was the outfit he wore to do his nominations, like the robe and the shorts and the gloves and the boots.
But to him being a pop culture stan, it gave gay guy he was on. Didn't
Oh,
he do House of
Todrick.
Boom?
Todrick Hall.
Remember once? Did you watch Celebrity Big
Yes, I
Brother?
did. I
And he
sure
came
did.
in the Balenciaga Crocs,
Yeah.
and they didn't
Oh.
like it. Then he came singing the HOH song in his robe.
Yeah. Wait. Oh my gosh. So if Jimmy played this right, like I love pop culture references. If he was playing this right, he could easily be a fan favorite. He's just doing, there's a line and he's just crossing the line
Every
between
time.
cringy and annoying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It
Oh
also gives
gosh.
like bad house guests. We know in BB history, like we don't want the drama in the house. We're gonna be here until October. If
Hmm.
every day you're going to give me a scene, boo, you gotta go,
Yeah.
Angela. Like,
Rachel in this season too.
oh yeah, no, she's and why remind me again why we needed the history of a possible two-time Big Brother winner?
We don't.
Okay,
We
I thought
don't.
so.
I feel like they are trying to throw in too many of these, like when Sari was on and they were trying to, kind of tee her up as like a survivor legend and like Big Brother legend. And she actually probably would have done a better job if her son hadn't been in the house. But that's,
Yeah.
another story for another day. But the thing with Rachel, when they were looking for, like when her and Keanu were in the kitchen and they were looking for the nutmeg and stuff, Rachel
Mm-hmm.
and Jimmy are both guilty of, people are calling it clip farming, where like they're trying to say stuff because they think people are gonna make edits and like memes of them.
Yes.
It's so cringy. Like
If
she's
you're gonna
another
come
one.
for me, wait till I'm in a gown. The reads aren't even flawless. You see
No.
her thinking about them. You know they're pre-written. We don't hear you use this vernacular in any other time and space. But when
Hmm.
you read in the girl down,
Yeah. You're trying too hard. And even when she was talking to Jimmy when they were talking about her horrible fashion, and she was like, Jimmy is way more quick-witted than
she was
me. And
yes.
yeah,
He was reading her for he was
he really was. He
quick.
was,
I
and I
said,
was on
baby,
his
get off of
side
her.
too. Well, I was on his side. I'm like, whack her again. Because what do you mean you have fashion houses and stylists pulling clothes for you, baby? I don't believe you. You need more people. You need more people, Rachel.
Or they are pulling them for you, but you should pull your check from them because they're pulling ugly things.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
may exist. They're just sucky at their job, and that's okay.
Yeah.
People suck at
Yeah.
their job every day.
Yeah. She
Fire
hasn't
them.
been giving in the fashion department. You know who has been giving though? Ashley. I've loved all of her looks. She looks so good.
Ashley gives PG baddie so bad.
What is that? Explain to the people what that means.
Okay, so I'm an East Coast girl through and through. Prince George County is the county over in like Maryland, and that is like the suburbs. That is like the it like if you are a black suburban girl from PG County, ding 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 jackpot, right? Like it in
Oh.
that space.
Hmm.
But it gives that energy gives think 2008 preppy, like mean girl style
Okay.
black girl edition. You know what I mean? That's the vibe. It's very much daddy has money. We're taking a car to school.
Yeah,
It
yeah, she's very
Ashley.
Hillary Banks coded to me. Like like that's when the first episode that aired, I was like, that is Hillary Banks down.
Mhm.
Down to the way she
Mhm.
was crying, down to her entitlement. I'm like, she gives me so much Hillary Banks. I love Ashley though, but I hate to hear that she is probably not the best house guest. Like I feel like they all have been talking about how inconsiderate she is in the house. I don't watch the live feeds, but I go on Reddit. They
Mhm.
live by the live feeds, and they've been saying like she's been displaying just like a lot of inconsideration towards her other house guests on the feeds.
PG County. Half these people in this house, some of them are unemployed, all of that. That's not shade, right? But
Hmm.
when you look at a person, then you have to zoom out, right? We
Yeah.
have to look at the house guest in the situation. Ashley doesn't give siblings, roommates. It doesn't
Mm,
give she's ever had to consider anybody else in a space, right?
yeah.
When you're in a mom dad dynamic, if you are coming from a suburban space, depending on the type of mom dad you have, that emphasis isn't placed on the syllable for you to like maybe clean up behind yourself, or maybe wake up on Saturday and clean the baseboards. That might not be something that was present in your space. So if this is the first time that you're in like a roommate situation outside of the two double bunk beds in college, duh.
Yeah.
But we've all been to college, right? Like we've all been inconsiderate roommates at some point in time, whether it be
Mhm.
college, whether it be living spaces. Yours just doesn't happen to have 127 cameras filming it. So
Right.
I think there's growth, but I think that it's less, it's just more ignorance to the situation. Like she just doesn't know.
Yeah, yeah, and that's unfortunate. I think that's gonna bite her in the ass sooner than later unless she can turn things around. But to your point, if she's not used to this type of environment, it's not even clicking. It's not clocking to her
It's not
that she
clocking
needs
to her that she needs to stand on
that she needs
business.
to stand on business. Exactly. And before we jump back into like gameplay talk, I want to get your thoughts on Ava. I think Ava is such an interesting character here this season. But one thing that I don't like that I'm seeing is people are like, Ava needs to win the game. She's so quirky. She's so herself. And I'm like, yeah, that's very cute for America's House Guest. You guys can totally vote her for America's House Guest to win Big Brother, though. Ava has not displayed any type of competitive edge to me. She has a pretty decent social game as we've seen so far, but I also am like, it's way too early to be saying she should win just because you like her as a person. How do you feel about that?
I have an answer to that. I want to put a period on Ashley and say that Ashley takes instruction really well. I know you don't watch the live feeds, but her and Mickey had a conversation. And basically, Mickey was like, listen, this is how people see you. It doesn't matter what you think you're putting out.
Oh, that's
And I
good.
and I don't want you to get upset, but this is what's going on. Ashley takes instruction very well. So I think that we could possibly see that
That's good. I'm
change
glad to
from
hear
her.
that.
I hope we see it.
Yeah.
Ava, winning Big Brother is crazy. And I think that the resurgence of competition game shows in the reality TV space post COVID has got people messed up, right? Like,
Mhm.
this isn't The Circle.
Yeah.
This isn't Traders. This is Big Brother. It's a game
Yeah.
inside of a game inside of a game. And she ain't playing them games. And
Mhm.
her good social game is just her being like genuinely herself, right?
Yeah.
She's not strategizing
Right.
socially. She's
Right.
socializing inside of a strategy game.
Yep. Yep. I agree 100%. She is pretty decent socializing, but it's not because like she's not doing it out of a strategy, right? Like just like you said, she's just being who she would be on the outside of the house, and there's no real thought going like into it or about how she's maneuvering. And
She
so
would be
yeah,
a
I
great
think
winner for The Circle. She should go over there.
yeah, exactly. Something like that. And like I said, if they want to vote for her for America's House Guest, I still think even that's too early to call. But if that's your winner, that would make sense to me. But calling for her to win, it kind of underscores what I think is like a big issue with like new age reality TV. And you brought up a good timeline. Maybe it is after COVID. I don't even know when I started to notice it, but it's like people think because I like this person and they seem nice, they should just win everything. And I just don't think that people are entitled to winning, especially a game like Big Brother, just because you like them as a person. When the game is about being competitive, like you have to outlast, what
Mm-hmm.
is survivors, outwit, outlast, all of that. You
All
have
of
to
that
do
stuff.
that in Big Brother. They have to display that before you can start calling for them to win, not just because you think they're a nice, quirky girl, you know?
I also think that production's hand is heavy on Big
Yeah.
Brother. I also know that we did a lot of back to back to backs on them colored winners. We went from Xavier to Taylor to Jag to Chelsea. They said enough. And so there is a part of me that doesn't feel like it's spot farming to be like Ava, 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 because we need
Mm.
to change the face of this game. That's that. What's the girl that left who had the secret? We just gave so many
Oh, Amy.
opportunities.
Yeah.
Amy was. We've got Ava, right? Then you've got Amy, who had the 50 million chances to be in the house before the game even started. You brought back a winner to pad
Rachel.
this game. This is the very first time that you put anybody with any experience of this game here. Sari just had competition game knowledge.
Mhm. Mhm.
Then you put the people who I felt were casted to give America's Sweetheart, Lauren and
Katherine.
yeah. Okay, it's
I think
human no more than
Lauren might be America's sweetheart though. Like she is such a like rom-com prototype. Like every time I see her, I'm like, if Big Brother doesn't work out for her, I would love to see her in a holiday Hallmark movie. Okay.
see. This is where my big brother homegirl, she be like, yo, you be hard on him. Why? What she's giving you? Give me your favorite Lauren
She's
line. What she's
she's
done in
cute.
the house.
Oh, it's purely based on aesthetic. Purely based on aesthetic. She's
Oh,
cute. She has great hair, beautiful smile. Yeah. No, when I'm looking for like people in rom-coms, I have a rom-com rubric. I love rom-coms. I have a rom-com rubric. One
same.
of the things that I grade people on is like physical chemistry. I feel like she could be paired with another hot holiday rom-com guy. They will have
Okay.
fantastic physical chemistry. So yeah, it's solely based off of
I
aesthetic.
see that. I see
Absolutely.
that. I thought you were saying she was bringing the personality, and I was
Oh no,
like,
she doesn't even have to be a good actress for me to want her in
uh,
a rom com. A lot of them have horrible acting.
oh yeah, no, that's rule number one. I don't know what your list looks like, but I know that's at the top.
I think you're right. She does represent a subset of America, right? Like that Southern Belle, America's
Mhm.
sweetheart, Catherine, her friends. I kind of feel bad for Lauren, especially in this episode 6, because it does seem like she's assuming that her and Catherine are like much closer and she wants to take Catherine to the end. But Catherine said specifically, like,
Mhm.
Lauren is sweet, but when I have to cut you, you're
I
gone.
gotta cut you. No,
Yeah.
Catherine is she's cutthroat, and I need the house guests to realize that she
Yeah.
could possibly be a problem. We haven't seen her win any comp, so she might be easily beatable. We don't know, but also it's still early.
Hmm.
But social,
Yeah.
that's the girl that's going to rally for the back door. You need to
Yeah.
get rid of her.
100%. And I think, I don't know, do you think she's doing a great job at not showing that? Because Sunny and I were talking like she was floating the first week, which
Hmm.
kind of makes sense though. And it seems like she's floating a little bit this week too. Do you think that's a good strategy for her? Because nobody's looking at her.
I see. I don't think Catherine is floating. I think Catherine is, and now see, this I think is the great social game, right?
That's a great point.
Why were we all talking about the shower with Ashley?
You're right. So she came out the gate with the,
Deflect, deflect,
oh,
deflect.
yeah.
Because if everybody has issues over there, they're not thinking about me. I don't need to win anything. They're not putting my name up. For
Yeah.
her, she happened to be on the right side of Jimmy. So the Keanu situation and Vinny, the Keanu situation fell safe. Again, that's more drama. That's deflection off of her. It's her little fly on the wall is extremely intentional.
Oh, so she's not giving floater at all. She's giving like strategist.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, they better watch out. They better watch out. Oh my gosh. And then in this same episode, like a really sweet moment that happened. I loved when Will was opening up about his military background. And
Hmm.
it's such a smaller moment, but it made me cry when he was
Yes.
opening up about his military background. And then Zach was like, he has his freedom because of what Will and other people like Will have done. And like to him, that's
Hmm.
a definition of a man. I was like, I don't
When he
remember
said
ever
that's
really
the
crying.
definition of a man, and I was like,
Yeah, right. Exactly. Literally had to
mm.
grab my triangle. Shout out to Candace. Had to grab my
Yes.
triangle and wipe a few tears because I don't remember ever really crying from Big Brother. I think I may have shed a tear when Taylor won her season and America's Favorite
I
House Guest. I think that was
definitely,
the only time. But
I think I
yeah,
cried every time she won an eviction.
yeah,
Every she was, which was every week. They kept putting her on the block, but
yeah.
every time I was like, "This is a black woman prevailing. It is beautiful." I
Yeah, it was a really sweet moment. Just switching gears, Keanu said he was going to pick everybody off one by one, and the house got mad. But I've
Mhm.
seen people online say that's the name of the game. You're all there to pick each other off one by one. What do you think about him saying that?
I thought that was the worst social move ever. I think I
Agreed.
even tweeted it. I think I said that he's playing one of the worst social games that I've ever seen. Duh, it's the game. We're
Yeah,
all at Big Brother. Like we none of us are surprised by the idea that we have to pick him off. We're surprised that you would open your mouth and say it.
and say it.
So, but it also gave I kind of it gave BDE a little bit because he is a comp beast. You know what I'm saying? So
True.
it's like what you gonna do when Thor tell you like, oh, I'm gonna pick all of you off one by one. You're right, Thor.
Hmm.
Like
Like, what do you say to that?
I'm sorry. I don't. Let me
Right.
move out your way. Would you like to go left or right? I
Am I
know.
am I going first or last? Like, what's the order in which you'll be picking us
Yes,
off?
please me, Lord. Tell me where I stand on the totem pole. I think that was so dumb, but I also think that there's so many powers, or not so many. There's only Mickey's power. Mickey's power is so strong
Mhm,
that
mhm.
this could not fare well for him. I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself. Sorry to the people who don't watch the live feeds, but Keanu turns around and wins a competition. So again, takes us
Right,
back
yeah,
to BD.
yep,
BDE.
we're gonna jump back into that.
I think he wanted y'all to think it was like a dumb joke. I play Dragons. I don't play that shit. I don't even know what it's called. What's it called?
Dungeons
Dungeons
and
and
Dragons.
My husband is like
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons, but
Yeah, like, looking
sorry.
the way he looks, it wasn't the right thing to say, even though we know that's the name of the game. But you brought up the veto competition, and that's exactly what I wanted to talk about next, because we see Keanu invoke his power, which is
Hmm.
to have another Big Brother player come and play in the veto competition with him, and they bring out Casey. Now, I'm the first to say I have never seen Casey's season of Big Brother, so I wasn't familiar
Yeah.
with her game. However, I have seen her on the challenge,
Hmm.
and she was doing really well on the challenge in the season that I watched her. So, you said no, you also haven't seen her season.
Yeah, I haven't seen her season of Big Brother, but I did see her on the challenge. So
Yeah, yeah, and
I
she,
knew she was about that shit.
exactly right, and they were calling her a comp beast, and she did just that. She pulls off the win for Keanu. But what did you think of that challenge? How did you feel about Mama Felicia? Creep.
I thought it was kind of lame. I was like, they could have, if you was gonna bring back a comp beast, it should have been a competition. Like
Mm,
it should have been
mm.
something old school BB,
Like
something
a wall challenge or something.
something. Personally, I would have liked to see maybe a competition from her season that she didn't win, and
Oh,
then that be the competition. This is Big Brother. You can't just bring
mm-hmm.
on a comp beast and then not get in their head. There was
Yeah.
there was no reason for her not to win that, right?
Oh, that's actually a really good point. I think they should consult with you for next
I
season
keep
or
trying to tell
time.
them.
Any other time they bring somebody back, that's actually really good. I would have loved to see that. I think that would have raised the stakes a lot, because you're right. The competition. It was great to see Mama Felicia. I think she's hilarious. But yeah, the actual physicality and what they were doing in the comp was just like, as long as you can keep your hands on, these buttons, and you
Hmm.
can hop at a faster and longer distance than everybody else, you could win. It was her game to win for sure.
For sure. Keanu still turns around. Like that's why I said I was getting ahead of myself. He still turns around and wins. Like he said that pick you off one by one line and then turned around
Yeah.
and beasted down another comp. As a game player, you like, okay.
I think at this point, though, I'm like, damn, this dude needs some allies, because now he's flushed his power. He doesn't have it anymore. He needs to get with somebody that's like really unexpected, that also has good standing in the house, right?
Hmm.
Because right now he is public enemy number one, and we'll see that in future episodes that we're going to discuss. But yeah, at this point, toward the end of episode 6, I'm like, I really want Keanu. If he has any shot in this game, he needs an ally in that house, a real one.
Yeah. But I don't, no, don't be his ally. Don't, if you're listening. Like, boo. Who wants to just see some big beefy jock win the game?
They haven't won in a while.
I know. That's why, because we don't want to see it.
But you were talking
This is
about
a
changing the face of Big Brother. Maybe they need to go back to the actual like jock
going.
beefy jock winning.
Yes, that is, but a Big Brother is like America's game, right? Like you're supposed to get people
Mm,
from around the corner who can do this. Is supposed to be your neighbor down the street, and it's you're a dragon master, and then
yeah.
you eat weights for a living. Get away.
Yeah. And then closing out this episode. So not only does Keanu invoke his power, Kelly uses hers as well at the end. And she has to go and play this puzzle game, which for me, that felt like such an easy one. Like, I feel like they should have just allowed her to have the veto power. Like, she didn't even have to
Right.
play that puzzle. It seems so easy, right?
Did you know you were giving it to Kelly or?
Right. And I saw people kind of saying, "Oh, production. It looks like production is setting her up to be a comp beast." I don't know that that's happening. I think she's gotten lucky with some easy comps to win in the last two, because she won the first BB blockbuster.
She's won everything she's done. Boss move when she won that one with the crown and hit that buzzer
Yeah,
and put that thing on. She served face. I said, "Bitch, you better work. You better
right. Come on,
work."
Miss Small Town.
Okay, Kelly with an E. You I loved every moment of that. It she gives what's the other Michael? Tall, skinny guy, he was a comp beast.
Michael, Big Brother 24. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He
She
he
gives him.
was winning a lot. That's a really good comparison. I actually forgot all about him. So thank you for reminding me of him. He was really unsuspecting, just like Kelly
Hmm.
is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, Kelly obviously uses the veto to take herself off of the block. So we leave episode 6, and it's Will, Adrian, and Amy are on the block now, which takes us right into episode 7. And Morgan and Mickey are annoyed with Jimmy when we go into episode 7 because of how he's been doing his HOH. They feel like he hasn't been including them, even though they agree they have this triple threat
Hmm.
alliance. I am split between that because I'm like, yes, your alliances matter so much in Big Brother, but at the end of the day, it is a single person's game. Like, you kind of have to make the moves that feel the best for your game. However, I don't know that Jimmy made the moves that felt the best for his game. I feel like he made the easy choices. What about you?
He definitely made the easy choices. My strategy, having never played Big Brother, is Big Brother is an alliance game until jury.
True. Yeah.
You can play for your alliance and for the betterment there until jury. And we've seen that done, right? That's how the cookout worked. They had
Mm-hmm.
their pawns.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great strategy. It'll get you to the end if you can be a competitor, Tiffany. But I think it was a very safe move. There are so many people in that house that are sleeper agents. Now, with that being said, I think Jimmy putting up Adrian was a good move. I just don't think his reasons for doing it
Right.
correlate. I think Adrian is a sleeper agent.
Yeah.
He should be on that block if we're talking about gameplay. Should Amy be on that block if we're talking about gameplay? No. Should Will be
No.
on that block if we're talking about gameplay? No. Not when the other Zach is sitting in the house, not when Keanu is sitting in the house. It's a lot of talk about game, a lot of talk about game. But then when it come down to playing that game,
That's
pussyfooting.
that exact thank you. Perfect word for it. I think that underneath it all, underneath everything, that's my biggest issue with Jimmy. I don't care if you want to be, Queen Mother pop culture references. If you're gonna talk all that shit, back it up.
Back it up.
Please back it up,
Play.
because I can respect you. I respect the bitch that is coming in. Hey, I'm gonna be a villain. I'm talking shit about everybody's looks and their fashions, but I'm also gonna play a game. Keanu, Zach, Adrian, get on the block.
And if it doesn't work for you in Big Brother, truly now when we talk about self-producing, that's how you create the pipeline. We
Mm-hmm.
want to see you on another show. If you come in that bitch, you play games, and then hey, it just doesn't work out. It's Big Brother. Somebody had to go home.
Right.
Cool. We want to see you on Traders. We want you on the challenge. We want you on what the fuck ever else, the mole. I don't know. But there's no pipeline for it if you fucking annoy us every week until you leave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We don't want to see
Yeah.
you back on television.
Yeah. People like Jimmy, Rachel, Ava, Kelly, they are what makes like entertainment or reality TV entertaining, right? Like polarizing figures, kind of the
Mm-hmm.
people who want, like, a lot of the fandom are like, we want them off. It's like those are the people that they tune in for, because they want to hate watch them. And without them, what do we have left? Right. So it's like they are providing a level of entertainment. But yeah, I do wish that his talk, like, he had the bark to back up the bite. No, the bite
Then
to back up the
the
bark.
bite to back up the bark. With Rachel though, I almost feel sad. Again, I'm sorry because I don't know where in the Big Brother timeline I am with watching the live feeds, but at some point Rachel was crying and
Yeah.
she was like, I don't feel like I'm doing good at this game right now, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who I am, like, if I can't do this.
Yep.
That's major. We're unpacking it considering you won Big Brother 12.
Mm-hmm.
It's 27.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all know who you is if y'all win this again. I'm scared. That's number one. Number two, it's like when you watch somebody gamble and you know that they got their house on the line.
Yes.
I feel the pressure, and it's weird because we just saw Rachel on Traders.
I totally forgot that she was on the Traders, which lets me know, again, was not iconic.
It wasn't iconic, but it also
Yeah.
wasn't desperate. This gives desperate.
It does give desperate, but she brought up a great point. I think this was probably in that same conversation that aired on TV. I can't remember if it was episode 7 or 9, but she was saying, like, the way she played Big Brother, like her old school Big Brother is
Mm-hmm.
so different than new school Big Brother. And she said something like that really jumped out to me. She was, I feel like I have to be nice to everybody now. Right. I can't just say what I want. And I'm like,
Yes.
that is, but that's all of reality TV right now. Like we just talked about it earlier. Everybody wants Ava to win because they just like her
Mm-hmm.
as a person, right? This is not RuPaul's best friend race. Okay.
No.
Like people, and that's my issue with reality TV. And, as people, you and I, who have grown up watching this shit, we have seen the villains of all of it. Like Omarosa in her prime, please, this is child's play. But I felt bad
Um,
for Rachel then when she said that.
what's the Avery girl? That almost made me lean into her a little bit. And
Yeah,
let me tell you why. Again, Big Brother at its core, this is supposed to be America's game, right? This is supposed to be a neighbor, da 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 da. You at work, you ain't nice to everybody you work with. You're professional, right? Because you
right.
need to keep the job. But there are people at work that you like, girl, get John to do it. Don't ever talk to me. That's real. To
Yeah,
get into this house, it is a little bit, it's okay, we get the DEI era, we get the everything, but let's not make these people not real. Now,
right.
the downside of it is I like when it was like that, when you could talk, because if that's who you are, we gonna find out. What's that girl, Avery from Howard season? What you gonna do, Shaniqua? Ooh, bad girl. She was doing the Asian impersonations.
Oh, I didn't see that season, but I heard about her. Yeah, infamous.
Yeah, who you
Hard.
are.
Yeah,
Show it.
yeah.
Don't make these people be nice. Don't have somebody in the house who has a prejudice against somebody and then make them pretend that they don't know. Bring them out.
Yeah, yeah. A big part of why people are so afraid to be their authentic selves is like the fandoms, right?
They
Like
don't want to get canceled.
you can become public enemy number one if it's perceived that like you are a mean person. And I'm like, some people are mean, some people are bitches, some people are assholes. Let them be who they are. It's gonna make for a much more entertaining game. And it's I don't know, I'm not as sensitive to a lot of things like a lot of people are, but I'm like, I think it's just the time that I grew up in. I grew up in the 90s, early 2000s. I like my comedy a little bit offensive. I like my
Yes.
reality stars like villainous. Be
Yes.
bad on TV. I want to see it.
I want to see it. Give me the villain every single time. Also, you making a show wherein you don't show any conflict in between 17 strangers that come from all different walks of life don't mean that it don't happen outside.
Right. Mhm.
The very least that you can do in this reality television space is allow for it to happen.
Mhm.
Put the therapist on set, allow for it to happen. That's real life.
Yeah.
You know what? Taylor experience, and that's why it was so pivotal for other Black people watching, because Taylor's experience inside of that house was representative of so many Black women's experience. Now imagine if they had edited around all of that,
Do you
or the
think Taylor's
production.
though? Do you think that was because she was black or because she just so here the way that I view like when I watch TV and I watch instances, actually I'll give you a more recent one with Ashley. I saw some people saying what was happening with Ashley in like the first week was like racially based on
I
her
said
race.
it.
I don't agree with that though. Because I think in the first week, particularly with Ashley, in the first week of Big Brother, people are looking for any reason to put somebody on the block. So if it's
Mm-hmm.
perceived that like you went and you took a really long shower, I think it could have been anyone who had that perception. They would have been saying their names because they don't have any other reason to say your name, right? And then people are just wanting to make sure their name isn't the one being said. But contrasting that with Taylor, it probably was a little bit racial, but a lot more jealousy, I think. Taylor literally came in, I'm that bitch. Like she was in her swimsuit. I remember that scene when she was in her swimsuit, like leaning on the pool table.
Mm-hmm.
People can't take that. Like people cannot take
Oh yeah, they
women
were
like
like, you
that.
were trying to seduce the men.
Right,
It was like I
right.
was
So
leaning
because
on the pool
I
table.
like specifically am like I don't want to look for racism and everything because when you look for it, you find it.
For
So I'm
sure.
always like, what other factor, like what other things factor into these decisions? I think with Ashley was more like we just need somebody to blame for something and she was the right person. But I do agree with Taylor in the beginning. I'm like, this gives a little bit of she's beautiful black woman. Maybe there's a lot of jealousy behind that.
I think, and so what I said in my TikTok was, with these competition game shows, it doesn't matter which one you watch, the Mole, the Circle, Survivor, to Big Brother, it doesn't matter. The challenge, the second there is a competent Black girl in the space, she always becomes person number one to get out. It's always, oh, she has the attitude, are there other contributing factors around that? Yes. But does it lie in the you're bothered by her existence? To me, it just always gives that. Even with Taylor, when they were mad that she was linked up against the pool table, Taylor has the body that she has. She is a beauty pageant competition girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't walk out to that pool table and go, oh, boys. And she didn't do anything but exist in the body that she has. If you
Mm-hmm.
see that on the pool table and find it sexy, clap for my girl. Why is she the villain now? Again, Ashley with the shower. Yes, it's Big Brother. Everything is under a microscope. This is night one in the house. It was a poor decision, social strategy wise, on Ashley's part. Through and through. We won't take that from her. Again, who brought it up? And when they brought it up to women of color in the house, everybody was like, I mean, like, yeah. It kept coming back up because of Katherine, because damn, like maybe she dirty. The fuck?
Maybe she needed that. But then I love that Julie clarified, like, it wasn't a 2-hour shower. She took like a 30-minute shower and spent the rest of the time talking to Vince. So she just was gone for a long time. So they had to make up a story around it. And then, Vince
And then
didn't
he
do her
never
any
stood up.
favors. Yeah, he didn't do her any favors by not clarifying that it wasn't that long. So yeah, listen, I'm all about respecting how people view TV. Like the way I view it is not the way that you have to view it, right? So like I can totally understand that. And I'm not discounting what you're saying about it. I think if I live in my life where I'm like, every time this happens, like it's because this person is Black, I feel like it would drive me
no
crazy,
that would
but
absolutely
you know what I
no,
mean?
you can't do that.
Yeah,
I watch so many competition reality shows and I'm just like,
it's a
there's a
pattern for
theme.
you.
There's a theme here.
Yeah.
And I can still enjoy the show. I don't acknowledge the theme and then be like, racism, and then I don't watch. And then you guys should quit watching Big Brother. No, I noticed the theme. So how I approached it in my video was like, if I ever played a competition game show, I would play the circle and I would play as a white woman.
Oh, that's interesting. I feel like people watching would have a problem with that. Like, I feel like that would be
Oh,
like
fuck yeah.
a conversation that people will really want to like dive into.
Oh yeah, no, they're
and
writing think
unpack.
pieces about me,
Yeah,
and that's how I'm
absolutely.
pitching it to production.
Yeah.
This is a social strategy, right?
Well,
A social
listen,
experiment.
petition to get you on the circle. I would love to see that. I feel like you would be really good at a game like that. But just jumping back into Big Brother and jumping back into episode 7, we see that Adrian wins the BB Blockbuster. I wanted to ask you, as someone who like loves this show, do you feel like there are too many comps? Because I feel like we get the HOH, we get the veto, and now because they are nominating 3 people for the block, we have the BB Blockbuster. How do you feel about the addition of that?
I hate it. I wasn't gonna say anything, but since you brought it up, I didn't want to be the girl that'd be like, I hate this season, I hate this. This is like they do put effort into giving you something a little bit different. It's not the same game. We're not even like really winning prizes in between the games or the competitions. This season we've won 2. This is like the most that we've won in a minute. It's too much. For me and why I watch, I want to see the planning that goes into it, the wheeling and dealing. I want to see that one person moving room to room and then they're like, she's got to go because she's doing too much. She playing too hard. We only on the X amount a week. I want to see that. You can figure out a puzzle and you can find things in sewage water. Okay, is this Fear Factor?
Right.
What are we doing
Yeah.
here?
I agree with you. I do love, especially in a game like Big Brother that's built on strategy, I want to see how people do that. Like, how are these alliances forming? And then it's like, they can't expect us to all be watching the live feeds, right? Because it's a lot to keep up. So you can't keep up with all of the conversations that happen. So I agree. They could have kept the BB Blockbuster away from us and just allowed that time or filled in that time with more conversation, more like strategy planning. So
They are doing a little bit better. I forget which episode number it was, but you'll see that they edit from the live feeds, right? Like it's all the same footage. So there was at one point during the show where the live feeds cut to the "We'll be right back," and they didn't edit it out of the live like Sunday, Wednesday show. I forget which episode it was, but they were talking and then the edit goes and it "We'll be right back" like pops up. It's like a little 2-second and then it comes on. It was just a mistake in editing, but they're doing better at giving you more moments directly from the live feeds, which has always been a point of feedback. So there's an audience production give and take there,
Mm-hmm,
you know, it's like
mm-hmm.
we don't work for it, so we can't say this is how it should go.
Right. Yeah, that's just how reality TV is, right? We're gonna always want more and more and more. And you give somebody an inch, they're gonna take a mile. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so Adrian wins. Amy and Will are now on the block. I want to talk about the joke of all jokes when
Hmm.
they were giving their speeches to not get evicted. And you know how Will is always shouting out his chocolate drop, Gwendolyn. And
Hmm.
then Julie goes, "So, Will, am I your
At
lemon
your
drop?"
lemon drop.
The cackle I let out.
I said, what she say? I had to take it back. I said, somebody
And
call
the
Les.
way everybody reacted to this, wait, if I laugh too hard, is that racist? Can I laugh at this?
You trying to manipulate me? You trying to get me canceled, Julie? I said,
That was not on her teleprompter.
no, not at all. And
Yeah.
that's the Julie that we like. I need less
Yeah.
teleprompter Julie.
Yeah. No, that was super hilarious. How did you feel about Amy going home?
I didn't like it. Again, Keanu's still in the house. The other Zach is still in the house. There were so many other options. I was enjoying, although it a little bit annoying, I was enjoying watching the little bond that the girls were making with Amy.
Mhm.
Amy seems to be like really just, come on, guys, like you want to go sit by the pool and have a drink. Like the game is secondary for her.
Yeah.
Like she's here to love on these girls and pour into these girls. Her energy I enjoyed. I thought it was refreshing in the house. And it was nice to see Amy and Rachel, somebody who has this mean girl tag to her, sit
Mhm.
around and not be bitchy, right? They were having
Yeah.
real conversations about life and how this time around was harder for Rachel. She's a mom this time. She wasn't. That was reality television. I was enjoying that.
Yeah, yeah. I did Amy as a person and I loved like everyone when they were voting for her, they seemed so torn up about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
Rachel was crying, Ava was like a person that's too pure for this house. Like her
Yes.
messages were really good. So she does seem like a good person and like a fun person to be around. I think when I think about the game though, I was like, well, I was really indifferent. I was like, I don't really care that she left because she didn't seem like somebody that was going to be a big competitor anyway. But I think to your point, it probably would have been smarter to keep someone like her in the house because she's not a huge competitor.
Non-competitors make it to the end all the time. Derek
That's true.
Frazier. Oh, what's the other girl from the cookout with the fro?
Asa. Aza.
Aza. She that resume is empty, see through. The fuck? Non-competitors make it
But
to
she
jury
played
all
well,
the time.
yeah, to your point, they all had a
For
part to
sure.
play, right? So
Yeah,
like,
no,
yeah,
that's no shade to them.
right,
I'm just
right.
saying, again, we were only 2 weeks in. We could have saw something out of Amy. Amy could have wheeled in deals. She could have been helpful in making deals. Ezra was a
Yeah.
great peacekeeper in the house. Her energy was needed. Even the other girl last season, British girl with the hat, she wasn't a comp beast,
Yeah.
but she was good in the house. We could have got that from
Yeah.
Amy. I also enjoy the seasons where like the girls like team up and it feels like you're watching one big sleepover.
Yeah, I do. I love sleepover energy for real. As a girl who had so many sleepovers when I was little, I
Yes.
do like that. And I want to see a successful all girl alliance. I want to see the all girl version of the cookout at some point where
Yes.
like all women make it to the end. And I
Yes.
want them to call that alliance the Spice Girls. I am going to say this every chance I get, all girl alliance, call it the Spice Girls. It's girl power. It's Spice World. Okay. That's what I want.
I see this. I see, and I see it so bad because what I was going to say when I said about Amy, I was going to say I feel like we kind of got robbed from our all girl season. Kick those boys out. Kick them
Yes.
out. And
Yeah.
Jimmy's the last one you go. Make all of them the pawn. Pull the cookout strategy. Make all of them the pawns to you. Kick them boys out, and then you pick off Kelly, Katherine, Lauren.
Mhm. Right,
Kelly, the
okay,
first
yes,
girl
yes,
to
yes.
go. She
Yes,
got the out the door.
100%
You
get
gotta go, bitch.
right, ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell up out of this house,
Yes.
alright? So that takes us into episode 9, and Lauren, who we just mentioned, wins the HOH. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I felt about that, and I feel like everybody in the house didn't know how to feel because they all were like, "We don't know where Lauren stands." Did you agree with their assessment?
Yes. Because
Yeah.
again, who? I
What do you think about the memory challenges though? Do you think you would be successful at something like that? I would be cooked, honestly.
a girl, no. Cause you know what? I can't I can't do stuff like that. So when I was younger, like you get birthday cards and stuff, my mom is very like she's gonna spend 20 minutes in the store. She's picking you out a very thoughtful card, whatever, whatever. I would always get the card, I would read it, get the money, that's the most important card. And I'd be like, oh, thank you. And she was like, you didn't read it. What did it say? So as I got older, I'm like finding the last sentence, finding the something to be like, and that's it. So because of that, like brain trauma, when I'm watching the stuff that I'm supposed to be remembering, even in the house, I'm looking. I just start to panic. I don't know what to look at. How many shoes? Is it the
Right.
lights?
You
Is it
don't
the?
know what you
I
should be
just
paying attention to. Yeah.
and
Yep.
so instantly the words I can't hear them because you're
Yeah.
talking and I'm like, how many strands of hair do you have? Do you have any highlights? What
Yeah.
shoes do you have on? Are you having a bracelet? And they're like, well, what was her fourth word? Who knows? But she has 3 pink toes and 1 blue one. Like,
Exactly. If I don't know what I should prioritize in terms of like my memory, and I only have so much room.
oh
Okay,
yes,
I'm getting
Auntie is
older
only
every
working with
year.
a little bit.
Listen, I'm taking supplements because I'm like, I've only got so much space up here.
Okay.
I don't know what to prioritize at this
And you
point,
putting too much
right?
on the ginkgo at that point. The ginkgo biloba can only do but
Exactly.
so much. She's
And it
only
don't
but
work
so
like that.
strong.
Right. It don't
Mm.
work like that. So yeah, a memory challenge. I would totally be cooked. But yeah, Lauren wins. I immediately am like, I don't have high expectations for this HOH. Like I can tell she's very Bambi to me.
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna try to make the safest choices possible. But what I was kind of like here for her and Vinny forming a final two, I was like, that could be very successful because no one would assume that they would work together. Both of them are pretty solid in the house. And I feel like they both have the tendency to get other people to believe that they're in final two or final three alliances with them and then kind of snake them at the end.
Yes, I just don't trust Vinny. I don't trust him as far as I can pick him up and throw him. And
Yeah,
so
he doesn't have
I
enough of a backbone.
it's not it's not even the backbone. The backbone that's there is a conniving one. I think that he wants a final two with Lauren because he knows that Lauren is doe-eyed. This is a very
Mm.
manipulatable final two.
Mm.
Nobody else in that house is gonna be like, okay, you think so?
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
else has pushback. I think that's why he's there. And that I don't like. Don't take advantage of the little doe-eyed girl. Just evict her, you know?
But in a game to win 750, like a little bit of like I expect a little bit of conniving and a little bit of manipulation. You know what I mean?
Yes, we're playing a game, right? I need to tell you what I need to tell you to be safe. I don't need
Mhm.
to flat out lie to you. And that's what
Okay.
Vinny be doing. Vinny be
Mhm.
like, no, no, Jazz, your hat is not green, girl. I promise you that hat on your head is not green. That is not a green hat. And then he get in the confessional. I knew it was green. I just wanted to fuck with her head.
The world can see that it's green. Yeah. Mm.
That's
Yeah.
mean. That's not gameplay.
Mhm,
What he did
mhm,
to Ashley was mean. Same thing, Jimmy. Just say it. No, you're not
mhm.
safe. I'm considering you.
Yeah. Just be open about they all suffer from that. Or even with Lauren when Keanu like came in and she's just I'm just gonna look at the screen.
Mm-hmm.
No. Tell him like Keanu knows that he's like a threat. Just be honest about it. Yeah, actually like you can frame it like why would I not consider you, right?
Yeah.
What you gonna do for Big Mama for real if I don't consider
Hello, Big Mama.
you? Okay.
Also, I would play a sunglasses game in Big Brother. I'm coming in with the darkest pair of black sunglasses that I have. I'm actually going to have an array of them. I'm giving y'all looks, fashion every time. Y'all would never see my eyes on Big Brother. I'd be
Is
behind
that
them glasses. I'd be behind the glasses like, yes, girl, I pinky promise I'm telling you the truth.
I'm looking you in your eye and I'm telling you I'm
Mhm.
not putting you up on the block. It's
No.
equivalent to promising somebody but having your fingers crossed
I'm
behind your
glad you
back.
get it.
Yeah. But I will say where Lauren was open and honest is when she talked to Will about being a pawn. Like I
Hmm.
wasn't expecting her to go and have that direct of a conversation with him. But I love that Will stood on him. He rightfully objected and he talked about why would you want to put me on the pawn? I don't like the reason he gave. It's like I'm an old guy, like I was just on the
Yeah,
block with a bad
because
back.
then
It's
you
like
shouldn't have been
nobody
here.
cares. Yeah. Nobody
Like,
cares about that. I'm of two minds with Will because I'm just like, yeah, he is the oldest person here, and people can look at that as, oh, he's an easy out. But like for me, if I was a player and I looked at someone like that, not saying I do, but if I looked at somebody like that, I'm keeping you. Why would
hmm
if I feel like you're that old, I can probably beat you in most physical
yep.
competition. Again, we talked about the ginkgo and the memory. Uh,
hmm
the mental competitions, I probably could still get you too. So it's just,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. What do you think of her nominations? Because she does Keanu, Kelly, and Will.
Again, what is the goal? I don't
Mhm.
understand the goal with the eliminations. Why would you put Will up again when there are people in this house that never even touched the block? If for
Mhm.
nothing else, just put him there because you've not had the experience, you know,
Yeah.
and turn their key. I wish, like you said, that Will would have found better words to fight for himself.
Mhm.
I feel like if Will would have said, listen, it's your HOH. If that's what you're thinking about doing, cool. My position is I was just on the block last night. There are people in this house who have never been here. And if y'all are going to put me up as the old man pawn every week, let me know that now so that I could
Right.
just stop fighting in the vetoes and give y'all what y'all looking for. And not that I would roll over and die, but just that direct of no, if you're gonna old man me, then tell me to my face that you're gonna old man me, and then I'm gonna let you have it. Here, no, here's the competition. You won here. And I'm gonna
Right.
go ahead on home because I'm not gonna play them reindeer games with you. I wish he would have kind of like stepped a little bit more in that energy. Pawns go home. I don't like the pawn game. I
Yeah.
think that what's the face? Adrian should have been next to Keanu. I would have made an
Mhm.
all guys block. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
would have made an all guys
100%.
block. It would have been
Yeah.
Adrian, Keanu, and the other Zach that hasn't touched the block.
Yeah.
Whoever pulled themselves down, then Jimmy, you go up.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. I think in the same vein with Will, like we just mentioned, if I was a player, I would keep Will. If I were Will, that would be my strategy. That would be my angle. As soon as Lauren comes to me having the conversation, look, I know you guys view me as the old guy. I could actually work to your advantage
Yep.
with being the old guy. Keep me like don't put me up because the longer you keep me around, you are in your 20s, you probably could beat me.
And I'll work for you. Whatever they
Yeah,
say, I'll bring it back to you. We don't even have to call it a final two because I know you probably got some relationships with some other people, but we can hang on to this thing into a jury.
exactly. You got to be a politician. You ain't got to
And
tell
you got to
you
make
can
them
tell half
say
truth.
it too.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
if they go back on it, then you can be like, they said this. We were sitting here, 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 and here. We had this conversation. And then they said,
Exhibit A.
don't, you can't just call them a liar. You got to come with receipts.
Exactly, exactly. So any predictions for who might win a veto, take themselves down? Like how do you see this playing out for the three people on the block?
Keanu wins. That's what I see. Keanu, he wins it. So he takes himself down. He ends up
Mhm.
getting a movie night, which then it's Kelly, Will, Adrian, I think she put up.
Okay.
And now they have to play the veto. Out of those three, send Kelly home.
So if it comes down to it, let's say Keanu takes himself off the block, she puts Adrian up. Let's say
With
Adrian wins BB Blockbuster again. Now it's Kelly and
hmm
Will on the block, final like eviction night. You think Will stays another week over Kelly?
That's what I would want. I
Okay.
think the house
Okay.
is stupid, but if I was playing the game, I would want Will to stay because Kelly's going to make me work harder. We're
Yeah.
going to be in this house until October. If I'm playing like I'm in this bitch, right? We're
Yeah.
down to the final two. I'm going to be here until October. My goal is to work really, really hard right now
Mhm.
and to be able to kind of breathe once we're down to the last five.
Yeah. I agree with you. I will say if Keanu does not win, he is going home. His ass is grass. If he
No,
can't take himself
he's
off the block, he's gone. He's a goner.
he's a goner.
He's like you always pick up what I'm putting down. I love it. I love it. It was so nice talking to you about BB
Yes.
27 Elle. Tell everybody where they can find you because they need to follow you. You're hilarious.
They do need to follow me. I don't know what the holdup is. You know it's your girl. Hello? Hit the button. I am briefed by Elle on everything. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You type it in, I'm popping up.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another Big Brother 27 recap. I will be back next week with a special guest from season 23's The Cookout. So you do not want to miss that. Make sure you guys come back here and follow me on all platforms at J Henley Brown. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.